Hi, I'm Tom, and I want to tell you about something really cool that's happening next week, the Mini Sculptors Retreat. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what it is, why it's important to me, and how you can be a part of it. And no, it's not a retreat for sculptors of small stature, it's a retreat for miniature sculptors, though they're welcome to attend as well. Now, before we jump into it, I do have a couple of quick announcements that I want to make you aware of. The Goblin Menace Heroes Kickstarter was a huge success, and the Pledge Manager is now open. So if you missed your chance and you wanted to get in on it, go ahead and follow the link down in the description below to check out the Pledge Manager and Late Pledge. Or if you did back it, don't forget to go complete your pledge so I can get everything shipped out. Everything is being packed and will be prepped and ready to go out next month in November. And I can't wait for you guys to have these miniatures. They look so good. And if you'd like to learn more about sculpting miniatures, be sure to click the link down in the description below to download my free quick start guide to sculpting miniatures. It's a great tool that aggregates a bunch of information of my videos and techniques that you can use to get started with your sculpting. One of the most formative parts of my sculpting journey was the Gen Con Sculptors meeting. It was put on by Sandra Garrity and sponsored by various industry companies from year to year. It was a gathering for both professional and amateur sculptors. Anyone could come and see a dozen or more artists sculpting miniatures. I was really fortunate enough to encounter this just as I was breaking into the minis industry, and it was pivotal in learning techniques as well as, networking in general. I'm friends with so many talented people to this day because of this hangout. It's also directly responsible for opening the doors for me to sculpt for minis for companies like Reaper Miniatures. I can't recall the last year it took place, but I do remember the loss I felt no longer getting to meet up with my fellow miniature sculptors, old and new alike. Needless to say, this sort of gathering left its mark. In fact, the learning and sharing I experienced at the Sculptors Hangout is one of the main reasons I started teaching sculpting here on YouTube. Alright, so earlier this year I encountered two instances that reminded me of the old Sculptors Hangout and what a special focused time can do for your work. The first came as I was reading The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. In this book he talks about living in a secluded area to focus on writing. At the same time and place, another writer, Alan Silito, had been doing the same thing. Pressfield goes on to describe an incredible productive time for his writing. It wasn't just that he was off on his own and could work with little distractions. He was also challenged by having the evenings to reflect with another great artist. That sounded really cool to me. The second moment came when listening to the 3 Point Perspective podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts. If you haven't listened to it, definitely check it out. In their episode titled Art Career Expectations versus Reality at about the 30-minute mark, one of the hosts, Samantha Cotterill, was talking about her time at an artist residency, specifically the Drazi Resident Artist Program, to be exact. It's a really cool program. You should really look it up when you have a moment. It sounds super, super cool. Anyway, what stood out to me the most was how it was structured to balance focused creative time while building camaraderie with other artists. This was done by giving each artist their own space with dedicated time to work, but with set social times. Collective meals like dinner, where you could share what you were learning or creating with everybody, as well as, general open hours as well. Both of these ideas really stuck with me, and it set me on a path to capture what I first experienced as well as what I was hearing from these other artists. Let me tell you about the Mini Sculptors Retreat. So here's the idea. To put on a retreat with a curated experience to reignite the creative spark in miniature sculptors. To accomplish this, I came up with the following tenets. Tenet 1. The retreat takes place outside of your normal surroundings, preferably someplace fun and interesting. Tenet 2. It includes at least one memorable adventure. Think an excursion like they do on cruises, a chance to do something special that'll help cement the idea, not just of all the learning and the cool sculpting you get to do, but something fun as well. The third tenet is daily activities. These will be broken up into time blocks for specific activities. There will be sculpting focus, set time for deliberate sculpting, work on a project, try a new technique, or participate in a challenge from the retreat if one's set. You'd have time to relax and reflect. It's time that's used to stop and think about the work you've been doing, maybe even journal about the process. There'll also be time for sharing and discussing. You would do this with other sculptors. They would come together and share what they've created, learned, or discovered. It's a chance to get feedback or collaborate on techniques that everybody else is using. And lastly, there would be communal gatherings, set time for meals and evening fellowship. Talking shop like in share and discuss is totally fine, but the real purpose of this is to create bonds between the attendees, beyond just all the work we were doing. Now you might ask, when and where is this amazing event? And that's a great question. When I first proposed this idea to several of my mini sculpting friends, I knew I had to make it happen in 2025. Otherwise, it would just be a thing I thought of doing someday, and someday rarely comes. So here's what I'm doing for the first annual Mini Sculptors Retreat, or as I call it, the 2025 Mini Sculptors Retreat Solo Edition. Yes, I'm going to be doing this first Mini Sculptors Retreat solo, but with a virtual component to incorporate some of the camaraderie I mentioned earlier. So here are the details and how I plan to adhere to the tenets of the Mini Sculptors Retreat. The retreat will be taking place on November 5th through 7th. That's a Wednesday through Friday. My destination? It's not glamorous, but it's definitely a change of environment, and that's what's important. I've booked a study room at the local library, and if you've never checked out your local library, they are truly awesome spaces. Not to mention you're surrounded by books. And I'm going to be taking a look around at the reference section for some inspiration during the retreat. For my adventure, I've decided to see a movie, and it's just my luck that Predator Badlands premieres during the retreat. The final tenet is the various daily activities. I'm going to adhere to the following schedule. 9:30 to 12:30 will be sculpt time. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch break and with some reflection. 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. share and discuss, hopefully virtually with some people, and maybe a little bit of sculpting. 3 to 4 will be my relax and reflection time. 4 to 5, gotta go pick up my daughter from school. 5 to 7, dinner and family time. And then from 7 p.m. on, I'm just gonna kind of enjoy the evening, share with others, maybe in person if there's anybody around here that's taking part, virtually or on social media. And I am planning to stream at least one night so I can try and connect with the wider community. And I'll be sure to announce that once I've decided what night works best. And that's my plan for the first Mini Sculptors Retreat. I'd love if you participated with me by doing your own solo retreat. Please leave me a comment and let me know if you'll be joining me. Even if you can only do it for one of the days or even one of the hours, doing it in some form is what counts. That's the reason I knew I had to put this together in some form before the year was over, because I've already started planning the retreat for the next year, and it's gonna be awesome. But until next time, and until that time, keep sculpting. Oh, and one more thing, if you're wondering about this miniature, this is the Pugabee, which was the little pet model that I did for my buddy D. Forrest and his little mini comic, Lil Musa. He may still have some. He did a short run of the comic and packaged it with the two little figures for the main characters of that story. You can find him by searching Studio Dogabee or going to his site, legendarysisters.com.